Hello everyone, my name is Marianne and I am pleased to be speaking with you today. Thank you St. John's Episcopal Hospital for having me, especially the librarians and medical students. Today we will learn how to navigate medical databases. This was on display at the Dykes Library at the University of Kansas Medical Center. The most popular medical databases are pUBmed, Medline, Untitled, JAMA, ScienceDirect, and Medscape. Today we will be focusing specifically on pUBmed. It is a free search engine. It is not restricted to only medical professionals. Untitled, JAMA, and ScienceDirect provide many journal articles that would be useful to a medical student. However, due to cost, it may be prohibitive. These databases are mostly found in academic libraries and are associated with institutions with allied health programs, such as nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, kinesiology, and speech pathology. Funding for these expensive databases is provided by alumni who want to maintain the value of their degree. When speaking of pUBmed, sometimes people get confused with a similar database, Medline. Medline is the National Library of Medicine, NLM, journal citation base. Medline is more of a reflection of the history of the science field. pUBmed has been around since 1996. Many of its references include the Medline database. Launched in 2000, PMC, PUBmed Central, serves as a free archive and repository for journal literature for publishers who are approved. pUBmed is a secure website. The user interface is broken down into subsections. Using pUBmed, pUBmed tools, additional resources, latest literature, and trending articles. The layout is clean and structured, which would be expected in a science database. When searching for information, it is important to have a planned approach. The Library of Congress creates subject headings, which allows the user to work within a framework due to the controlled vocabulary. For example, in the image to the right, RT means related term. So, for animated films, another search term can be cinematography. Similar to the Library of Congress subject headings, the NLM has a controlled vocabulary thesaurus. It covers a wide scope. It is designed in a hierarchy of terms and phrases. Subject specialists update it annually. These are usually indexers who are usually language specialists. The following video was made by the NLM to help the pUBmed users interact with the database. We will only watch the first 2 minutes. Feel free to visit the NLM website to view the whole video on your own time.
The U.S. National Library of Medicine is part of the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland. In 1960, NLM created the MESH vocabulary. MESH stands for Medical Subject Headings. The MESH vocabulary is similar in concept to keywords on other systems. MESH vocabulary includes 4 types of terms: headings, subheadings, publication types, and supplementary concept renders. A mesh heading represents a concept found in the biomedical literature. Mesh headings can be broad in scope, such as musculoskeletal system, or narrow in scope, such as the heading eyelashes. The mesh vocabulary is updated yearly. New mesh headings are carefully selected for inclusion based on their importance to clinical care and research, and their significance and usage in the literature. Mesh covers a variety of biomedical subjects as well as many non-clinical topics. These subjects make up different branches of what is known as the mesh tree structure. The tree has 16 main branches or categories, including anatomy, organisms, diseases, chemicals and drugs, humanities, healthcare, and geographic location. The mesh tree structure is a hierarchy. Headings are positioned in the tree according to their relationship to other headings. Look at the heading I in the body regions branch under anatomy. Notice that the headings eyebrows and eyelids are indented under eye because these specific parts of the eye are narrower in scope. Also, see that the more specific heading eyelashes is indented quite logically under eyelids. Many headings occur in more than one branch of the tree. Looking again at the heading eye, we see that in addition to being in the body regions branch, it is also found in the sense organs branch. The National Library of Medicine produces Medline, a database of citations.
PubMed uses the hierarchy tree to organize the information on its database. Topics range from anatomy, chemicals, diseases, psychiatry, and more, seen on this slide. Since PubMed is a STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math, the field is constantly updated. Here we see changes that the indexers did to mesh terms in September of 2011. These changes may be small, but could affect your studies. Now that we know what PubMed is, let's try and search the database. We are going to use the term sickle cell anemia. Background information on sickle cell anemia, sometimes referred to as sickle cell disease, is a genetic blood disorder. It prevents itself in the first 5 to 6 months of life. It affects the ability of hemoglobin to properly carry oxygen, which causes anemia. It occurs most frequently in African populations. This level of knowledge would be required of a freshman and undergraduate. You would be expected to know more. When we searched the PubMed database, we received over 2,000 articles. To help us narrow our search, we're going to use the NLM mesh terms. By using the PubMed mesh search, we have an organized tree structure. This tree structure also provides us with more key terms so we can find the medical information we are looking for. Questions?